The other thing also, no, thank you for that, Shane. Good takes. You know, the other thing also, and I guess I'm going to have to be the one to say this. Dalton touched on it a little bit. But I'm going to go a little bit deeper. Now, here's the reality, guys. The other problem with immigration, right, is that when you bring too many people in from these countries, what ends up happening is they import their culture, right? And I know I'm about to offend some people in here with what I'm going to say, but I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to say it. We don't want third world fucking culture dominating the United States. This is coming from a guy that fucking came from Sudan, Muslim country, war-torn, etc. I should be the biggest pro-immigration fucking person in here. But I've seen the effects of what happens when you bring in people with a different culture to your country. If any of you guys have ever been to Southwest border, it's not America. It's fucking Mexico. All right? It's literally Mexico. And if you guys want to see what's going to happen to this country if we just allow more mass immigration, go to Laredo, Texas. Go to McAllen, Texas. Go to San Antonio even. Hell, San Antonio is basically fucking Mexico, right? I like it. Don't get it twisted. I love Mexican culture. I like hanging out in San Antonio, right? Mexican girls aren't as hot as Colombian girls, but that's a whole other conversation. But the point I'm trying to make is this. When you bring in too many people, too many foreigners, what ends up happening is our culture gets diluted, okay? If you're an American patriot, you're an American nationalist, then you should want American ideals. And the problem when these people come in is they bring their ideals, right? I am not ashamed to admit that Sharia law and Islam simply don't coincide with democracy and first world countries and liberty. Just doesn't, right? Sharia law just doesn't blend with it. So if you're going to come here, right, and come from a Muslim country, whatever it may be, you need to assimilate. Now, luckily for me, my parents, they came here, they assimilated, they learned the language immediately. They understood that this is the United States of America, not Sudan. And when my dad did come here, one of the things he prided himself on, I tell this story, but I'll say it one more time because I know there's probably people here that don't know who the fuck I am. But when he came here, he said, look, I never took a dollar from welfare. I never fucking scammed nobody. I worked an honest job as a cab driver, busted my ass. I got robbed by a bunch of fucking idiots from Brooklyn, right? Watermelon words, if you guys catch my drift. You are going to become a fucking somebody. I did not bust my ass and not fucking take welfare and drive a fucking cab with a cast after being robbed so you could be a fuck up. And that always stuck with me. It always stuck with me. And then the other thing that he always told me was, you're not like these other fucking shithole families from Egypt and from other people from Sudan or from Algeria, whatever, these other people that come in here and scam the system. And it wasn't until I became an adult and I realized how immigration works that I said, oh shit. For every one family that comes in and has their shit together and works really hard, there's like 10 that don't. And then not only that, they come and they bring their culture here, and sometimes that culture and in abundance isn't good, right? It's one thing if there's one Mexican restaurant on the block, that's great. We can all go to that one Mexican restaurant. But then if there's 10, well, guess what? Are we still America? And this is the uncomfortable conversation that people don't really want to have when it comes to immigration, because we want to be able to say this bullshit line of, we're a melting pot. You know what? I'm here to say it. It's not a fucking melting pot. This country was founded by white Christian niggas, man. All right? Protestants. That's what it was founded by. All right? Let's just deal with what the fuck it is. And the other thing I also want to say for everybody before you go ahead and sit there and say, well, Myron, you're a seller. Aren't you black? Aren't you Arab? How dare you? Why would you say that you want more immigration? I'll tell you why. Anybody that gets money, where the fuck do they move? Oh, I'll tell you where. They turn into fucking Goku. White neighborhood. Every time. Why is that? Why is that? I'll tell you why. Because this country was founded and the infrastructure was created by white people. Right? And here's the thing. I make fun of FBAs all the time, but I'll tell y'all this. I'd rather give FBAs reparations before we allow fucking mass immigration in here. There you go. So FBAs, don't get it. I know you guys are probably crying right now, but there you go. There's your fucking bone. I'd rather give you dickheads money than bring in more illegal immigrants or bring in more foreign workers. Because at least you guys are American citizens and have some semblance of giving a shit about this country. Right? So, with that said, mass immigration is bad. And if you guys don't believe me, go to the United Kingdom. Go to Canada. Go to Italy. Go to France. Crime-ridden, destroyed by third world invaders that come in and bring their fucked up culture, because the reality is this. when we bring in these refugees, they're not the best. They're typically criminals, people that couldn't make it in their own country, and then they come and fuck our shit up. And that's what I'm trying to say with these H-1Bs. They're not the best. We have better here. We have better here. So that's the uncomfortable truth that no one really wants to say when it comes to immigration, why it's a problem, because we lose our country when we do that. We need Americans here that have American ideals, right? That speak the English language, that give a shit about this country. I pledge allegiance to one flag, the United States of America. They carry one passport, right? And they have a vested interest in this country being the best, not their country being the best, because they come here, take our education, take our money, take our jobs, and then they go and send that fucking money back to their country. Fuck that shit. We need people that are all in here. And that's the ugly truth that no one wants to actually talk about. We don't want third world culture over here. Fuck that.